This is Wicked Rhody, the wicked good podcast about Rhode Island events and life. Hey, how's it going? My name is Mary Larson.
And I am Ben DeCastro. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, voted Best of Rhode Island 3 years in a row.
That's right.
3 years? 3 years. All this Rona madness, you know, I think it's if losing your sense of ability to count, although I'm a drummer, so counting up to the number 4 shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be. But if that was a symptom, I'd definitely say, yeah, I'm guilty and need to be quarantined. But yes, 3 years as we go here.
Yeah.
We have really, Mary, I don't know about you, but finding some of these unique, different kind of events as we go in has been fun. Mm-hmm. And it's been a bit of a challenge. So, you know, right off the bat, I'd like to encourage people that if you have events that are coming up, you can always just drop them off either to our Facebook or to our email or whatever, obviously the links and stuff. But it's this time of year, you're starting to see all these different events where you can do things to get the most use out of the children's costumes.
Yes. Super important.
I think this is the year to just declare, regardless as if it is a noted or designated costumed event or not, mm-hmm. You can wear the costume.
Yep, all month. Just go for it. I agree.
I think we shall. I shall. You know, bang the gavel and make it henceforth. No need to call a press conference.
Yes.
We'll just do it here. And if you see somebody out there wearing, with their children wearing costumes at a non-costumed, designated event. Yeah. You know they're a fellow listener.
That's right.
So you go up and you give them an elbow bump or a 6-foot distance high five.
Love it. You know, it's funny. We are trying to alert neighbors that we would still like to socially distance and safely trick or treat, but do it on an earlier time frame of the day. You know, Halloween this year, it's at 4th. It's on a Saturday. So we're trying to tell our neighbors, hey, can the little kids trick or treat at 4:30? You know, that way you can put the table out in the front of your driveway, put the candy spaced out. They'll have trick or treated while there's still sunlight, and then they can go home and have dinner and call it a day. So I actually printed out a bunch of flyers and had my kids in their costumes yesterday, and we were delivering them to people's mailboxes. I figured if there were cute kids in costumes, rather than me, they wouldn't think I'm a political person just walking around trying to get their vote this close to the election. And what was so funny is one of the doors that my kids walked up to, they were going up saying, good afternoon, we wanted to invite you to our socially distanced Halloween event. One guy, bless his heart, started giving my kids money. I think he thought they were like selling Girl Scout cookies or something. And my kids left. Right? He just started reaching out into his back pocket, handing them dollar bills.
Mary, why are you wasting your time right now with your children being in school? Pull them out for 2 weeks. You hit up every neighborhood. I want you on the east side. I want you down in Narragansett along Mansion Row. You need to be going to the high rises in Lincoln.
Yes.
You know what? I know a couple of the cul-de-sac and little HOAs where Patriots players live.
Ooh, hit them up.
There. Go there.
And
you know what?
College.
Just pick a random address. They don't even care. Just send them around. Start cashing in, baby.
Seriously. I was like, guys, this is not what normally happens when you knock on neighbors' doors. But now I'm afraid they're going to expect it. So we'll see what happens this afternoon.
All they gave me was a Snickers. I wanted a 20.
Oh, my God.
That's funny.
Right?
So the governor has announced in recent press conferences that they're encouraging people to do the daytime trick-or-treating. And what I really think, and this is not a political podcast by any stretch of the imagination, I really think that if this is going to be something that they're hoping, without it going to great detail to explain exactly how to safely trick-or-treat and wear a mask, because I think we're all pretty good at that, I think it would be helpful if the governor or somebody in that position or a mayor or whatever said, look, we're going to do trick-or-treating between the hours of 4 and 6 or 3, whatever it is, during the daylight.
She did come out and say that. She just said it on the recent, to make sure it's daylight.
Right, but she didn't designate times. That's the thing. And so that's usually the indicator for the start of trick-or-treating is usually after, at dusk.
Yes.
So that needs to be clarified. But also, the one area I'm seeing concern is usually you can identify which houses are participating by lights.
Yes.
So what is it going to be? How can we do it? Because let's face it, Mary, in your neighborhood, in my neighborhood, there are older folks that they don't want to participate or they won't be home. Yes. And if there's got to be some kind of an indicator there to do so. And, maybe we've got to teach the kids how to identify if a street light is on during the day or a house light is on during the day. And, really examine that, Fresnel lens on the house lights. But is it on or is that the sun reflecting through?
Pinterest had an idea to solve that problem.
What's that?
They said to put to hand out orange balloons and to blow up the balloon and stick it on your doorknob or something to let kids know this is a trick-or-treating friendly home.
Right. So long as we don't show them any of the Pennywise movies.
Oh, you're
leading
right.
up to. Thank you. Thank you. Captain ruin it for everybody over here. You'll float too.
Hey.
So
no matter what, communication is key. And I think that's the tricky thing right now, right? You want to communicate with your local neighbors if you do have youngsters who want to trick or treat. And that's the trick, is we need to talk with them and come to an agreement. Okay, is 4:30 good? Will you put the table out on your front lawn? If you don't want to trick or treat, the kids just won't knock on your door because they won't see anything in your front yard. But everybody needs to be on the same page. And what I found even yesterday too, my kids and I were walking up to people's doors with our masks on. We'd ring the doorbell and step back a couple feet. Some people are afraid to answer their door, even if you are masked and there's cute kids. So
well, and that's what I mean. And that's where it can, become very... I think that's where it will raise tensions and that will raise anxiety, and that's the last thing we want to do.
Yes.
So we'll see how things play out, and as we get the information, we will pass it along to you.
Or they'll throw a 20 at you. You don't know what may happen.
Right. Hey, cash only. Maybe if they put a green light in there, replace it with a green light bulb. So that could be an interesting way there. So We'll look forward to getting you that information. Anything else new on the Larson front?
That's it. All things Halloween, my friend. That's all my kids are talking about nonstop.
God bless them. Well, if you tuned in while you're on the road working, getting errands done, just listen and enjoy the episode. If you hear something that piques your interest, you can find all the links and info on our website, wickedroadypodcast.com. All right, let's start you right off with the costumed volleyball tournament happening this weekend over at Mulligan's Island. And if you happen to find yourself over by Mary's house, because she does live over there, knock on the door and see if she'll give you a 20.
No, I won't.
That's right. They are looking for teams to compete on the court, but also in their costumes for some round-robin playoffs style volleyball. Now, this is something fun. It's different. It's starting at Saturday from 5 to 11 p.m. Mulligan's Island is a wonderful little, I think it's I don't know if it's a full 9 holes. It's a small little golf course, but there's also driving ranges. They got the mini golf. It's just it's a great little location there. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yes.
Weather-wise and perhaps other. But they'll have awards for the different costumes there. This is certainly something for adults.
Yes.
So, be sure to check that out. This is being put on, of course, by Mulligan's Island over there in Cranston, and also Bluefish Bowl Volleyball Club.
Pretty cool.
And Blast Volleyball, which I guess they're a professional sports league, as so they say. I'm going to look for if I can get their collector's cards next time I'm over at my local sundries shop. So that is happening on Saturday from 5 to 11 p.m. Costume NE4's volleyball tournament over at Mulligan's Island Golf and Entertainment.
Nice.
What do you have, Mary?
Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Lippitt Memorial Park, of course, has their farmers market, but we also wanted to let you know that they have an arts market. So this is some of the very best in handmade local art and crafts. This is Providence's only artist-run weekly arts market, and this is actually their 8th year doing it. So with today, there's only 6 more Saturdays for them to join up alongside the Hope Street Farmers Market. And mind you, this is going to have paintings, jewelry, ceramics, clothing, accessories, glass, vintage, mixed media, all sorts of great things. And what I love about the PVD Arts Market is the artists are the people there. You know, they're underneath their little tent. They've got all their wares showing, and you can ask them questions. And if you are someone who likes to plan ahead for the holidays, this is a great place to get gifts. You know, I know a lot of people, we want to support our local artists, whether they're musicians or just artists, just because once the cold weather hits, it's going to be really hard for these people to sell their wares. You know, they're not necessarily going to have as much flexibility with your holiday bazaars that maybe they have locally. It's just going to be a little different. So if you can, head on over to the Hope Street Farmers Market this Saturday at that Lippitt Memorial Park, right on the cusp of Providence and Pawtucket, for the PVD Arts Market. It's a wonderful experience.
Awesome. Mary, something that a lot of people missed out on this summer just due to the various restrictions are clam bakes.
Yes.
I know in my town, we usually have 1 or 2 every weekend over at the Hugh Cole Pavilion. But again, due to the various restrictions, those weren't able to happen. They're typically fundraisers, and people enjoy them, put on by various organizations. But in Portsmouth, over at Rhode Island Brewing Company, which used to be a nursery and a farm stand, they have converted that over into, it's right on Bristol Ferry Road. They're right off as you get off of the Mount Hope Bridge.
Okay.
They converted it into a brewing company. They have a giant tent and plenty of space out back. So they partnered up with McGrath's Clam Bakes and Catering to host open to the public traditional clam bakes. So they did this either last week or the week before, and it went off huge.
Nice.
People loved it. So they are doing that again this Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. You have to make reservations, reserve a table. They have all the restrictions there. But let me tell you something about McGrath's Clam Bakes.
Tell me.
Excellent. Outstanding. Phenomenal.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, they're very, very good. They're great people over there. So if you are looking to get that taste of summer that you might have missed out on, go check that out. Again, it's the Portsmouth Clam Bake number 2, as they are officially calling it, over at the Rhode Island Brewing Company. Of course, I'm not a connoisseur of such, but I hear there are incredible beverages available when you go there. So you can check that out as well. With McGrath Clam Bakes and Catering, it's Rhode Island's Portsmouth Clam Bake number 2.
Very cool. Hey, if you're already in the spooky spirit, maybe you're donning your Halloween costumes early, this weekend has a really cool event happening at the Museum of Natural History and Planetarium. That, of course, is like in that Roger Williams complex, you know, where it's the zoo and the park, and then it's their really, really cool building, and they're going to make it the night at the Haunted Museum. So you get to experience the museum's most bizarre collections amongst spooky, living, moving decorations. You know, as our friends at 1031 Productions, who are that living art, you know, whether they're gargoyles or floral arrangements, and then they slowly, creepily move. Well, they're going to make sure that this museum is an incredibly fun Halloween experience. Face coverings are, of course, required, and they're going to ask that you socially distance. Now, this is an event that tickets need to be purchased ahead of time, and it is for all ages, but they're recommending that the very young may find it a tad bit creepy, and strollers are not permitted just because there's stairs at this event. So, actually, they do not want costumes. See? Don't listen to me. Don't wear costumes at this necessarily, or else they may think that you're one of the creations from the 1031 Productions. But of course, you do need to wear your face covering. So just a really cool thing happening, and that is Friday and Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m.
Fantastic. Mary, I actually spoke with the executive director of United Way Rhode Island, and she expressed her great appreciation to yourself, myself, and all our listeners here at Wicked Rhody for all the assistance that we've been able to support the United Way with. And whether you're looking to take part of a big single project or interested in a more long-term opportunity, there are nonprofits across the state eager for help and very appreciative of so to make a difference.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well, this week, the United Way of Rhode Island spotlights 3 organizations whose varying needs for volunteers offer something for everyone. And of course, to learn more about this, you can head on over to our website.
The Federal Hill House seeks volunteers to assist at its food pantry, which is in Providence, and they need assistance stocking shelves, pre-packing bags of food for clients, and so forth. Now, volunteers must wear a mask and follow safety guidelines, but the help is needed Monday through Fridays, morning and afternoon shifts, and you can reach out to them and sign up for a shift just by contacting Alori Fernandez. What do you have, Mary?
Habitat for Humanity in South County is looking for help for long-term help for their Restore program, which supports the construction of housing for low-income families. I mean, we all know, especially here in 2020,
Sure.
things have been really tough for a lot of people. So you can volunteer at the store once per week for 6 months. Greet donors, accept donations, and maybe prepare items for sale. Now, of course, training will be provided for. So if you're a little nervous because you don't have the training for it, don't worry, they've got you covered.
Will Jimmy Carter be there, former president and avid supporter of Habitat for Humanity?
Alas, no.
Oh, okay. Well, God bless him. The Empowerment Factory is a Pawtucket-based nonprofit dedicated to advancing children's creativity, self-esteem, and social-emotional skills. They're recruiting new members for its board of directors. So if that's something that you're looking to get on, you can help support the work that prepares kids for success in school and life. So if you're interested, reach out to them. Contact Gail over at Empowerment Factory.
And to learn more about the United Way of Rhode Island, or if you're in need of assistance, visit their website or simply dial 211 and get connected to the help that you need. Oops, playing the wrong song. Okay, those of you who are listening this far, you know. That's our Wicked Fun, the 401. Here's the one I wanted. There we go.
See that? You thought you were getting more information, ladies and gentlemen, but no. We're ending the show so you can go out there and do something fun. And as we said at the beginning, everything we talked about today can be found on our website, wickedroadypodcast.com.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram because we love to be social, and we know you do too. And let me tell you, the photos that y'all are sharing for your It's Fall Y'all kind of posts, you know, the pumpkins and just the pretty mums and all the beautiful places we have here in the Ocean State, they're looking fine. Keep using that hashtag Wicked Rhody. And if you could do us a favor, if you're a listener of this podcast, which you are, because you're listening right now, do us a favor and screenshot your phone right now if you're safe, if you're not driving, if you're not jogging, screenshot your phone and share it in your Facebook or Instagram stories and tag us, Wicked Rhody Podcast.
If you're looking to get your message directly into the listeners' ears of the various Mary and Blake media podcasts, you can explore all the shows that thousands, I mean tens of thousands, listen to each week at maryandblake.com. You can see all the various shows. Mary, what is, I mean, I know Wicked Rhody is perhaps one of the smaller shows just because of the fact that it's
We're
Rhode
the tiny
Island.
state, yeah.
Right, but you have shows that are international.
Yes.
With the Game of Thrones,
Outlander,
This Is Us 2, Outlander.
Harry Potter. Yeah, This
Right.
Is Us is coming back up later this month, so we're gearing that one up. We're doing another podcast about The Crown. I mean,
Wow.
if it's a fandom on television, we've probably got it covered.
Do you have a deep dive on Alf?
Alas, no. There was not podcasting during ALF time, so that would be an interesting endeavor. Hey, if COVID continues for too long, let's be real. We may have
We're now watching reruns of what was the Harry and the Hendersons.
Yes.
There you go. That's the one. Until next time.
My name's Mary Larson.
And I'm Ben DeCastro.
And you've been listening to Wicked Rhody. We'll have more for you in the near future.